The student life to order. I call on Vice Chancellor Denise Maybank to give us her report. Vice Chancellor.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see you and welcome to 2024, a new year for us to advance knowledge, promote new opportunities, and to assure economic and social mobility for those who elect to partner with CUNY as we lift New York. Classes for the spring semester begin next week, and there is great anticipation, particularly for those who are scheduled to graduate as members of the class of 2024. In the first 22 days of this year, we have seen a couple of noteworthy events I bring to your attention today. On January 12th, the Black Male Initiative partnered with the historic Abyssinian Baptist Church to present a celebration of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the Reverend Dr. Calvin O. Butts III. These men were noted as distinguished leaders of vision, activism, education, and faith, icons for human rights. Drawing on an eclectic group of CUNY administrators, faculty, and staff, including President Patricia Ramsey from Medgar Evers College, and punctuated by various artists from the music ministry of Abyssinian Baptist Church, the program was both a soulful and soul-stirring event. The keynote was delivered by Dr. Ron Daniels, Distinguished Lecturer Emeritus of York College. I just want to give kudos to Dr. Jonathan Quash, the director of BMI, and Mr. Ron West, the BMI Special Projects Coordinator, for conceiving and realizing this first ever community-wide event. I hope that it won't be the last time. I've brought the program for those of you who might like to take a look at it. It was quite the experience, and so I will pass that around. I'd like to get it back. I got notes. You'll see I have notes in it. The winter 2024 resident assistance training took place on Wednesday, January 17th, and we currently have 8 residence halls associated with 6 of our campuses and a capacity to house 2,500 students across the university. The 75 RAs received training in student conduct and related policies, Title IX, including Spark training, community building, programming, and self-care. This past Friday, January 19th, the CUNY Child Care Centers held their 18th annual CUNY Child Care Professional Staff Development Conference, and they held that virtually, with the focus on empowering staff to meet the evolving needs of children and families. 183 staff and administrators participated in the half-day experience. The keynote speaker was Holly Alyssa Bruno, who holds an MA and a JD, and is an early childhood education instructor, best-selling and award-winning author who served as Maine's Assistant Attorney General. She was proud to say she is 78 years old and quite the firebrand. She delivered an informative competition.
If we could. My apologies, Vice Chancellor. Technical difficulties.
I can compete.
Sure you can. I believe you can commence.
Well,
Thank you.
are we sure that it's, don't we need to record this for the purposes of CUNY TV?
The volume is down just for the room. I need to tell someone to mute on the Zoom.
So it will record the Vice Chancellor.
She delivered an informative, engaging, and entertaining address. Workshop topics included child well-being, building positive relationships, managing acting out behavior, using puppetry and music, and techniques for unfolding family and personal narratives. The CUNY Child Care Council sponsors this particular conference. The other thing I just want to bring to your attention, as it will happen before we come back together again, is the caucus weekend. So as you are aware, the 53rd Annual Legislative Conference of the New York State Association of Black Puerto Rican, Hispanic, and Asian legislators is being held in Albany February 16th through the 18th. We are looking forward to a strong student presence in Albany, and particularly at the CUNY Luncheon on Saturday, February 17th. Representatives from our University Student Senate, our CUNY Coalition for Students with Disabilities, and the Malave Leadership Academy are sure to be there, as well as some others from other campuses.
As well as the
And-
vice chair.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor, I appreciate that. Let's see, action items. Action item 2A is the approval of the minutes for October 2nd, 2023, and November 20th, 2023 meetings. I move the approval of action item 2A. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Point of order or discussion. Since I'm going to abstain on one and vote and approve the other.
Which one are you abstaining on?
I'm abstaining from the one that was on October 2nd because I wasn't present. But I plan to vote on the second one. So can we separate them as two separate?
We can bifurcate them, sure.
Thanks.
So what you would do is explain your vote and just separate them out. You can do that
Okay.
without me separating
Great.
them in the resolution. So the resolution stands as action item 2A. Minutes of October 2nd, 2023 and November 20th, 2023. We have a second. I move the approval of action items 2A. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Bifurcation. I abstain on the second and I approve, excuse me?
November 20th.
And- Oh, sorry, no, October 2nd is the one that I'm abstaining from, and November 20th,
It's the
I'm
one.
voting for.
Duly noted. So the results. Is that 4-0 and 3-1 for October? The October 2nd minutes passes 3 with 1 abstention and 0 objections, and the November 20th, 2023 meetings passes 4-0. I'll now address action item 2B, the policy calendar. Policy item 2B1 is a resolution to establish the College Association at the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism. I now call on Assistant Vice Chancellor Ian James to provide further background on this item.
Sure, thank you. The Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism desire to establish a college association that will have supervision and review over the Newmark School student activity fee supported budgets. In accordance with the bylaws 16.5 of the College Association, this has been approved by the Dean of the school. More details are outlined in the enclosed College Association bylaws. Director of Finance and Administration, Avril George Robinson, is available if there are any additional questions. Avril?
Do I have a second on this? I move the approval of action item 2B1. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That passes 4-0. Policy item 2B2 is a resolution to establish a college association at the City University of New York School of Labor and Urban Studies. I'm sensing a theme today. I now call on Assistant Vice Chancellor Ian James to provide further background on this item.
Sure. School of Labor and Urban Studies desire to establish a college association that will supervise and review the SLU students' activity fees. The College Association will be organized as a unit at SLU, not as a separate corporation, in accordance with the board bylaws 16.5. More details are outlined in the enclosed bylaws of the College Association. Should there be any additional questions from members of the committee, we have Rochelle Pinder-Coffey from SLU to answer any additional questions.
I have a question.
Yes.
What are the reasons the association wasn't established earlier?
Do either one of you want to address while your particular kind of
So I
campuses
can
are-
address that. So the SLU, we developed our student union in 2020 during the peak of the COVID pandemic, and so that delayed our timelines in terms of establishing our college association. So we're really ecstatic and excited to actually get this done and be compliant with board policy at this point.
And from Craig Newmark School, do you have anything?
Yes, and in our case, we do have a graduate student council which had been established at the inception of the school. However, we would like to be in compliance with the board policy, and so we are changing over from a graduate student council to a college association. We've been functioning like a college association. The students have advisors from the faculty and so forth. They manage their budgets. There are meetings held, there are minutes. So it's really to officially change over from a graduate council to a college association. We get audits done every year. So it's to make it official.
Do we have a sense of how the graduate council reacted to this change, to this shift?
Oh yes, they were on board. They welcomed the opportunity because it creates more visibility and transparency for them. They're able to have faculty advisors on that committee. They're able to have student affairs office participate as well. So yeah, they were excited about it.
Any further questions? I'd like to move the approval of action item 2B2. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion's carried unanimously 4-0. With no more items on the policy counter, we'll now move on to the information items. Item 3A is a report on the establishment of the new policy for effective, reasonable accommodation and academic adjustment procedures relating to accommodation and accessibility for students. I now call once again on Vice Chancellor Denise Maybank to provide us with more information on this item.
So as you will note, the policy that is coming before the board for consideration is designed to bring in line our policy, our practices and our policies, because we did have existing policies and guidance associated with accommodation and accessibility. And this brings those things into alignment and allows us to be certain that we are responsive to all of the needs of our students, whether they be through agreement or by necessity and support for those students. So it is not just because something is expected of us, but it is because we know what we need to offer our students. And so these policies are now aligned in a way that will allow for the best approach in responding to our students' needs. We needed to be certain that we offered clarity on how qualified learning assistants were provided and supported in terms of their compensation. We needed to provide assure accessible course materials and to have students have a way to make certain that they could let folks know when that wasn't happening for them, and that we would be able to be responsive to that there would be a request and complaint process available to students as well, and that there would be compliance as according to the law already, but that there would be clear understanding of compliance with New York State IT accessibility policies and other state laws that were aligned in that way, and that there would be training for faculty and staff. And these things have been put in place. They are documented in the policy and allow us to move forward in a coordinated way. And I love the title of the policy, Effective, Reasonable Accommodation and Academic Adjustments Procedures Relating to Accommodation and Accessibility for Students. So it is the emphasis on the effective. And so this affords us that opportunity and allows us to move forward. I'm going to ask Carrie Shockley, who was instrumental in making certain that we got here, if there's anything I left out that needs to be emphasized. And she's shaking her head no. I'm also going to turn to general counsel and see if I've messed up anything that needs to be corrected.
No, great job.
Okay.
Vice Chancellor, you know this is near and dear to my heart, but I'll ask you to invite any representatives from NIPERG that might be able to facilitate this to literally and figuratively join us at the table.
So they're separate. They're a little separate from this. They have their presentation, but I
Okay.
will move on to that at this point. So we are joined today by representatives from the New York. Oh goodness, I'm always gonna mess this up.
Public
New York-
Interest Research Group.
I'm sorry,
I did?
NIPERG. Yeah.
Oh.
What's the title?
New
Portland
York
State,
Interest
97.
Public Research.
New York Public Interest Research Group. I always am gonna mess it up every time I try to do it. And so I'm gonna ask Farouk Abdallah to come as the deputy director and to be joined by Isabella and Nabila. Is Christina here? Is Christina's not? No. Okay. So come on over and we welcome you. Each year we get the privilege of having them come before us to share, and share their experiences and opportunities that come to them through NIPERG. So I'm not sure who's going in what order, but Isabella, since you're there, you're going first. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for the introduction. As the Vice Chancellor said, my name is Isabella, my last name is Grujong, and I'm a member of the Hunter College chapter at NIPERG, and I'm also a part of their board of directors. I was elected last semester, and I'm a junior and a political science major, minoring in Latino and Africana studies. I've been a member of the Hunter College NIPERG chapter for about 3 years now, since October 2021, and I'm grateful to share my experience with you as well as some of our highlights from our annual report. NIPERG is a nonpartisan group, and we are a statewide nonprofit founded and directed by students. It was founded by a group of Queens College students in 1973 and has been a vehicle for students to learn important leadership and civic skills since. Personally, NIPERG has been a space where I can expand on what I'm learning beyond the classroom in a hands-on way. And NIPERG also allows our students to learn public speaking and research skills, event planning, working with other organizations, and it also allows us to meet with legislators and get a role in policy action. NIPERG's involvement allows students to also get involved in issues of interest in their community, policy issues such as public health, funding public education, protecting our environment, and empowering students to vote. In many ways, NIPERG provides a unique opportunity not found in other educational settings, teaching students about civic responsibility and how to best have our opinions heard. We empower students through a host of programs to engage their passions and develop professional and interpersonal skills through grassroots organizing, advocacy, and fruitful dialogue. We have an internship program where students earn class credit, participate in semesterly conferences, public workshops, and events. Like most student groups, we have services, and NIPERG is funded. We are funded through services such as the student activity fee, and that was approved through a campus-wide referendum. NIPERG offers refunds to any students who prefer not to have their portion of their activity fee used for such programming, and we also submit activity reports to each college president and to campus libraries for public access, and of course to the Board of Trustees. As I mentioned earlier, NIPERG works on a wide range of projects and events decided by the Student Board of Directors, and I will highlight a few of these events and activities. So with the aid of at least one full-time coordinator, students were able to plan and participate in digital events hosted on video streaming services and in-person events. Students participated in events that connected them with community leaders, such as New York Attorney General Letitia James, New York State Senate Finance Committee Chair Liz Kruger, New York City Council Speaker Adrian Adams, Community Service Society Director of Health Initiatives Carrie Tracy, and Start Empowerment founder Kier Blake. And we've also been able to connect students with their community needs and to advocate for their community. We train students and interns and offer non-legal help in the use of the Small Claims Court. And our project, the Small Claims Court Action Center, offers such assistance through a helpline to those wishing access to the Small Claims Court. Students also involve themselves in community activities through its promotion of information about mutual aid resources, community food drives, menstrual product drives, And we also participated in cleanups at Crotona Park in the Bronx and Coney Island in Brooklyn. We conducted nonpartisan voter registration drives to assist thousands of CUNY students with registering to vote or confirming their voter registration status with the Board of Elections. We shared voter resources, including early voting information, absentee voting 101 guides, and we've organized Get Out the Vote efforts to turn out student voters to the polls for the 2022 general election and the 2023 June primary. We participated in the National Voter Registration Day, the Evelina Antonetti 100 activities, and also the Vote citywide voter registration drive actions. We've increased the student vote and empowered young people each year. And in closing, my involvement with NYPIRG, I spent the past 3 years making a difference in my college community and city. My involvement as a board member enables me to continue to commit my passions and to commit to my passions and be ethical and a consistent leader. We hosted many events on campus, ranging from registering college students to vote, hosting informative policy discussions, signing petitions, to actions outside of the campus to bring awareness to our issues. And I am very proud to having led the effort to expand our public health work to include advocacy to add affordable birth control to campus vending machines, making it the first time in NYPIRG's 50 years to take a stance on reproductive health, which is of course ever more important amidst the attempts to eviscerate bodily autonomy. And I'm grateful to know I have a community to lean on and to work with when shaping the future I want to see. And I want to thank you, the Board of Trustees, for continuing to invest in students who come from every borough through your support of groups like NYPIRG. Thank you.
Do we have an additional presentation?
No. She's here for support.
Let me personally thank you as a NYPIRG student in 96 and 97 at Cortland. We did voter registration drives and actually got a poll site at the student union. That was a big deal for us, so I appreciate that. So thank you in that. Now, with no more information on the...
Question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
Questions, or
Yeah, go right ahead.
you wanna go first?
Yep.
Harvey?
Do we have a financial breakdown of NYPIRG available? We have that?
Yes, in the fall report that we submitted,
Okay.
there's a financial page that breaks down
Okay.
campus by campus, and then it also adds it up.
My
company-wide.
next question is, what is you're from Hunter College, of course. What is the relationship between NYPIRG and student government? How is that interaction going?
Well, I could talk about my college.
Yes.
It's been a productive interaction. They help us book rooms so we can hold our weekly chapter meetings and host events. So we work with them in terms of event planning mostly, and also sharing resources to sometimes volunteer and help us facilitate.
Okay. I'm asking this question because I'm sure NYPIRG is aware that a lot of student governments that have NYPIRG around them have been having conflicting feelings about NYPIRG on the campuses. So has NYPIRG taken any action to address those different conflicts on why our students are investing in NYPIRG? I'm hearing it here. Definitely agree. NYPIRG has always been a great collaborator of USS. We love this partnership, but now we're talking about local student governments and having NYPIRG with them.
Yeah, I mean, I can answer that question. I mean, we always strive to work with all groups on campus, whether it's student government or any other clubs. For a lot of the student governments where we try to get on the agenda and just give them updates, just like let them know like what we're doing, because I think that's very important, because some of them may not realize the kind of services and activities that we provide students, and oftentimes we try to get student government to co-sponsor those different activities and those events. I mean, we're happy to answer any questions if people, they can reach out to me directly, or on each of our campus we have at least one full-time organizer who works with students. They can talk to them. But we always like. Part of my response, I'm the deputy director. I oversee our campus program. So part of my job is to train all our full-time staff people. And one of the things that we emphasize a lot when we train people is visibility, right? Because people need to know what we do. We take portion of the student activity fee, they should know, well, like what we do. And also like working with other groups, working in coalition, we do several trainings on just like focus on that. I mean, we're happy to, whether it's show up at student government meetings to give an update or, work with them on events, co-sponsor, and, us co-sponsoring their events, vice versa. We're always happy to work with other groups.
That's awesome. And I'm gonna close with this. The board definitely does all the policies and all that, but when we talk about the day-to-day interactions, a lot of student government members or their appointees are on the college association boards that do allocate these funds, right? They do lead the referendum. So it's important to have that recognition, and I'm happy that you talked about raising awareness about what NYPIRG does, how much NYPIRG is in service to the students. So the same way we're getting reports here about this great work, it's important on the local campuses to make these students understand this money is not going to this child care program that you're talking about, but it is going towards voter registration, and this is how useful it is for the students, so that all these organizations can kind of live together in that environment, not conflict in their mission, but actually work in cohesion.
I 100% agree, and maybe afterwards we can exchange contact information. I know you talk to some of my colleagues on a regular basis. I'm the sort of behind the scenes guy, so that's why I don't do a lot of public facing stuff. But we can exchange contact information, and if you want to help like facilitate any discussions or conversations with members of student governments, I'd be happy to talk to you about it.
Thank you, Kirk.
Professor Fernandez.
May
Oh,
Pardon me?
may I address this prior to your question?
Right ahead.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Professor. So I just want to ask if it would be useful, once the report is issued to this committee, we can push it out and
Yes.
make certain that it goes to the individual SGA chairs or whatever the particular part of the SGA office might be, once it's presented here.
You can send it to USS, and we'll make sure it gets to the appropriate parties too.
Okay, so I mean, I'd like to do it all. I'd like to send it to the SGAs to make sure that each of them get it, and we know that they have it, and send it to USS as well. Because I think there's benefit in all of the plenary knowing about the report in addition. So is that amenable?
I mean, they are members of SGAs, and so, yeah.
Okay, but I just think that once the report comes here, then we have the ability to make it visible, to make it available,
Absolutely.
if that would help.
I mean, if I
Push
could
it
add,
for the agenda.
sorry, if I could add, like, we're very proud of the report, so we're definitely, I'm happy to share it. That's one of the reasons why we submit it to each campus library, and we put it in the reference section, so anyone who would want to look at it, check it out, they can. But I'm also happy to share it with like any member of the CUNY community.
Professor Fernandez.
Question and a statement. So could you talk a little bit about the relationship between NYPIRG and the CUNY Rising Alliance?
We do have a relationship with them. We work in coalition with them on some issues, not all of their issues. That is more of our program director is the person who really like focuses on that relationship. But we do work with them.
Yeah, and I'll just say, I think I say this every year, that I would support increased NYPIRG chapters and campuses throughout CUNY. And since we've just created 2 college associations, they should think about going back to their colleges and encouraging certainly the School of Labor. And especially because I haven't looked at the finances this year, let's say at my particular college, but historically, college association funds collected in a particular fiscal year rarely get completely spent, find themselves in accounts that draw interest and start becoming like these kinds of just-in-case funds, which I find particularly offensive. So, my goal would be you collect money from a student, you spend it down. I don't care if you have to send them back a check with 5 cents return. So there's plenty of money around, because I know that between all the campuses, I think, what do you collect, like maybe like $90,000 tops? I don't know what the number is now. I remember back when a previous administration, who will remain unnamed, was trying to get NYPIRG out of CUNY. That was the number that was floating around in those days. But it's affordable for these associations, and the payoff is tenfold. So, and, you know, rather than just settling for clearing up, whatever discrepancies are between these SGAs and NYPIRG, I would, again, support, trying to get almost any college that can fund a chapter to have a chapter, because this is, and what's really hilarious, speaking from a college that doesn't have a NYPIRG chapter, with faculty we talk about these things in our CUNY Rising Alliance meetings or our chapter meetings for the union, trying to get kids to sign up to vote, and NYPIRG does that work, better than we could ever do it. So I support them completely.
Is there any other discussion? Yes.
And I do support NYPIRG as well, but I believe in also supporting and engaging our existing student organizations, such as the student governments, the University Student Senate. So I am going to call again for the collaboration, for the sharing of resources. Even this Sunday, we're having legislative and lobby training, and we invited NYPIRG to come share some of these skills with us. So I believe that they're transferable across the board, that multiple organizations can do this work and actually do what we are all here to do. I think more organizations is good, but the answer is not necessarily more organizations, it's more effective organizations. So empowering our existing organizations because they're all made of students. NYPIRG is made of students, USS is made of students, and they are receiving student activity fees and doing the work that they need to do with these funds already. I'm not sure about the other outside organizations, but NYPIRG and USS are doing the job.
Hear, hear.
Yep.
Any further discussion? Okay.
Oh, may I just
Yes, of
offer just
course.
a comment? I was very, very impressed with the list of activities, especially in particular those in support of women's reproductive rights. So keep up the good work and do share it with others.
Yep.
Thank you. If you want to talk more about the bill later, we can do so.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
I just
Go ahead.
wanted I was trying not to add on, but I can't help myself because I took a whole bunch of notes for you, and this is always my favorite part. First, I just want to congratulate you. You did a great job. This is not easy to do, to come and present in front of us. The work that you guys are doing is important. It makes me think of when I was younger. They used to do it by throwing us in campaigns and doing voter registration, and I grew up in that. So everything you're saying is amazing and will give people tools that will help them in the future. And I really do appreciate, Salimatu, you raising this collaboration, because maybe in most schools they don't have it, but the ones that they do, how do we bridge that? And I think it's important, and I thought your example was really a great example. Okay, you're not gonna have this, but we're gonna be doing voting. Why is that so important? And it is. It's critical. But how do we do that and communicate that and build that out? So, Isabella, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Not to add on, I just wanted to just get some clarification. So I loved all of the information that was provided, but I didn't get a sense that graduate students were represented in that. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Yes, so we are funded through the student activity fee, and we're established through a campus-wide referenda, and then it gets sent to the trustees. So we, the only school where we receive funds from grad students is Queens College. A lot of our work is for all students, whether or not we receive money from them, like voter registration, the Smoke Campus Court Action Center. We also have a Mass Transit a project which is, as you can imagine, very popular with our students. So all the issues that we work on affects all students. But in terms of like representation on our board of directors, there's not a lot of grad students now.
Any further discussion? I want to thank the NIPERG representatives for informing us of what's going on our campuses with them. With no more information items on the agenda, I now move this meeting convene in executive session pursuant to Article 7, Section 105F of the Public Officers Law. Do I have a second?
Second.